All right, I'm going to show you how to use Conversatrait. So from the main menu here, you're going to select an analysis mode. You can choose any of the 29 modes that are on there, anything from MMPI analysis or neurodivergent communication, argument referee, career guides, Big Five personality, MBTI. This is simple text analysis. If you want to just drop a chunk of text in there and have it analyze whatever it is, you can do that as well. IQ estimations, psychological patterns. We're going to do the Big Five for today. First thing you're going to do is paste your conversation right into this box. This could be anything from your text messages to your emails to your comments on a social media platform, whatever you want. Just go ahead and paste it right over. As you can see, there is a lot of information here. I have a ton of data that I just put into here. I think this can take over 250,000 characters before it starts to complain, so don't hold back. You know, the more data you can give it, the better assessment you will get. Date, timestamps, those help a lot too. The platform analyzes date and timestamps and a lot of other really nuanced things you wouldn't expect it to do. Okay, so once you do that, you need to tell it how to analyze the user that you want analyzed. So I want to analyze only the messages that say Chad, but I'm talking to my daughter here, Abby, and then on this one, I'm talking to, there's Chad and Melon and Abby. I need to make sure I'm only analyzing the Chad messages. So you're gonna hit parse conversation, and then this is gonna separate the messages out by user and assign them to that user so that you can select it. And it'll be in a drop-down menu that pops up right here. So select speaker to analyze. You're gonna go ahead and do Chad, or whatever your name is. Relationship context, this is a very important box. Make sure you use it every single time you use an assessment or a different mode. You need to tell it the nature of the relationship, the gender, the age, and any other pertinent information that you think would be helpful. So for instance, on these, because I have a conversation with my daughter, a conversation with a friend online, an investor report that I wrote for this very program, because I have 3 different conversations in here, I selected this. So this is 3 items. First is a conversation between Chad, 38, male, and another male, 28, with the username Melon. So I pasted this in here. The last item is an objective investor report. So that's all this is, and you can see how big it is. But that is all you need. So next thing we're going to do is select an AI model. This is in chronological order from beginning to end. So this is the newest models. These are the oldest models. You can see GPT-4 there at the bottom. You're going to want to go all the way to the top and then select one of the flagship models that's available. So flagship, I mean things like Google or NVIDIA or OpenAI or anything that you've really heard of a lot, DeepSeek. So what we're going to do is just go for the top one. That's the flagship model that's fast. So you're going to wait different amounts of time depending on which model you select. If you select something that says thinking, like this, think or instruct, it's going to take a little bit longer. This one especially, like Kimi K2 thinking, be prepared to wait 5 full minutes for an analysis back from this model. Whereas if you do Gemini 3 Flash, Flash is known for being extremely fast. So you want something that's a flagship model that's also fast and at the top of the list. That's how you're going to get the best results every single time. So we're going to go ahead and select Gemini 3 Flash Preview. Now that's it. You've got everything filled out. You're just going to hit Start Analysis. And then you can scroll down and look at your actual status of how far you're along in the analysis. Wow, that was really fast. Okay, good. So let's see. It'll give you a overview. Connections, I'd say that's probably pretty true. Openness, that's usually about what I get. Conscientiousness, that's about what I get. Extroversion, that's about what I get. And agreeableness, that's about what I get. And then neuroticism, that's also what I get. So that's right along with what I know about myself. So again, it'll give you an overall summary here. Then it'll give you your top strengths. So it'll say my high openness and extroversion create a technological evangelist persona. The low neuroticism supports his high stakes technical claims. Interesting. Contextual manifestations. In a professional setting, he is a force multiplier who uses AI to speed up workflows. In a social setting, he is the connector who offers help to establish status and unity. Unique insights. That is very interesting. See, I built this thing and I still get new things that are said to me every single time I run an analysis. Because of the amount of data that gets put out on this, you're never going to be bored. It'll show you my intellectual curiosity or your work ethic. It'll show you your cooperation or your assertiveness or your stress resilience, your anxiety, your self-consciousness. So this goes in really deep and gives you a lot of insights that you probably don't know about yourself or have never thought about before. So at the very top here, you're going to hit Export HTML. What this is going to do is take all this info and put it into a beautifully styled website. Beautifully styled with a lot of fancy animation. So while we're waiting for this to download, if you ever want to check to make sure that you're seeing everything that the analysis put out, you click Show All Data. What that does is you scroll down, and underneath everything, this will give you all of the text that was sent back and forth through the entire API call from the LLM. And you can see there is a lot of information here. Keep in mind, this is just one analysis. There are 29 different modes available, and this is just one of them, and they all have output similar to this. There's some charts here. You can look at your charts. So you hover over it, it'll give you even more details. It'll tell you your percentiles compared to the rest of the population. You can look at radar charts too, and that'll give you a good visualization of the data. Chord diagrams, if you've never seen these are really cool. Just a cool way to visualize data. So if you have never used one, just look them up. They're really easy to understand once you get it. And then network. This just is kind of cool to play with, and that's the only reason I put it in here. All right, well, it'll give you more about your traits, even more down here if you want. But let's look at this HTML that we exported, shall we? Click on that, and there you go. This is a 3 and particle.js background, so it's 3D and it rotates based on what position the mouse is. So if you look carefully in the background, you can see things moving like this guy right here. But if I move my mouse, I can change its direction. Pretty cool. So you're gonna hit export full report. This will give you your executive overview. There's always gonna be things in here that you didn't see in the previous one unless you read through all the show all data. This will give you your key finding. It'll give you verbal intelligence, logical reasoning, working memory, processing speed, creative thinking, and metacognition. Big 5 personality assessment. So it'll give you your OCEAN scores. So your OCEAN, or your openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, or neuroticism. This is your big 5. And then I added emotional intelligence on here as well. And this will explain to you why they came to the conclusion of each one of these scores. It'll give you your Enneagram profile. So mine is a 5 with a wing 4 or 4 wing. That's the iconoclast, investigator with creative individualistic tendencies. It'll tell you what my core motivation is, driven to understand deeply and competently. Core fear, elevated intelligence domains. Want to make sure that it called out what you were exceptionally good at. So for me, it thinks it's verbal linguistic, logical mathematical, creative synthesis, and metacognitive. Formalized service offerings. Yeah, that's something I need to do. And it's such boring work to me that I just don't do it. And then it shoots me in the foot. Explore ethical AI frameworks. Apply AI to non-commercial creative projects. I believe I already do that. Maintain current resilience levels. Yeah, sure, no problem. Optimal career paths. So this will tell you what you are good at and what you should be doing for a living. So research scientist, technical writer or educator, product development lead, systems architect, innovation consultant, and founder entrepreneur, which is all of those things seem appealing to me, and I'm doing several of them as we speak. So it looks like I'm where I should be. Optimal work environment, startups, hacker collectives, continuous learning, impact visibility, flexible structure, remote tech teams, and then summary and key insights. This will give you a whole rundown of the entire thing and just kind of tie up all the loose ends, and it still surprises me every time that I do it. But that's about it. Keep in mind this was just one mode, and there's 30 of them out there, and make sure that whenever you use this tool that you are getting the consent of the other people in the conversation. Don't put anything in there that you wouldn't be comfortable with someone else in the world seeing. Practice safety with your data, and don't put anything in there that you wouldn't be comfortable with everybody else seeing too. All right, thanks for watching, and happy analyzing.